Hey, what's up, guys? Alright, so Real showed up to help Lyra out against Asta's team in this chapter. And I noticed that for the most part, Rilla, the elf that's inside Real's body now, that elf for the most part basically has the same type of personality, same kind of like fun and like easygoing demeanor that Real used to have back when he was human. And then I remember that last week's chapter, Luck, the elf that's inside his body now, also had the same type of personality that Luck had. And the personalities only really changed when they would interact with humans directly, and then like that when that happened, they basically became the same kind of like standoffish, you're not on my level, don't fucking talk to me type of attitude that basically Patry had whenever he interacted with humans. So I mean, it's not really anything that important, but it's kind of interesting to notice that basically the elves had the same type of personality, same kind of like characteristics that the humans they're supposed to be reincarnated and have. I mean, like I said, it's not really that important of a notice, but it's something that kind of caught my interest in this chapter. So basically, the second Rilla shows up to help out Lyre, he's basically all over him. He's trying to like have a friendly conversation and catch up with Lyre like they haven't seen each other in years, which I guess technically they haven't seen each other in like at least 100 years at this point. But yeah, as soon as Asta sees this, he's like, "Hey, Real dude, like what the fuck's going on? What are you doing? You're kind of getting in the way of our fight here. I mean, if you're gonna help out, that's cool, but kind of get out of the way so we can attack him." And as soon as Asta realizes that, Real's not acting right and he tries to say, "Hey, what are you doing? You're our friend, not his." Real basically turns around and tells him to basically shut the fuck up. And it's kind of interesting. It takes Asta back for a second. He's like, "Okay, what the fuck's going on? Are you right in the head at this point?" And then once Real realizes that, Asta's there and, he's trying to be friendly with him, he basically attacks all three of them. But of course, they block it. And for some reason, Asta still has no idea exactly what's going on. I mean, like, all right, okay. Real just attacked them, just tried to kill them, and they had to all three of them use their attacks to block the attack full force. And Asta, for some reason, still has in his head that he could yell Real into joining their side again. It just goes to show that Asta is basically has nothing going on up there, and he's just basically all brawn. It's like Asta, dude, you can't just yell at him to join your side again. He's clearly being controlled by an elf. And of course, the other two realize what's going on right away. Now, once the fight actually gets going, Sora for once actually does something useful. I mean, seriously, this guy, this entire arc has basically done nothing but sit there and complain the entire time. But finally, in this chapter, he actually does something useful. He activates his traps, which I guess he set up at some point during the fight, and he tries to distract Real and Lyre long enough for Asta to get in there and attack Real, because for some reason Asta thinks that his anti-magic sword will be able to dispel the reincarnation spell. And he actually does manage to land a hit using his Black Meteor attack, but it's only a shallow hit, and it doesn't really do anything against Real except for piss him off. So he basically attacks him back, and Asta gets him flying back. He's a little confused as to why it didn't work, and Lyre basically comes in and says, "Hey, this isn't like the third eye spell reincarnation thing. You can't just destroy the spell. This is a full-on reincarnation, so basically you can't do shit against this." So yeah, I guess any theory people had that Asta's anti-magic could dispel the reincarnation spell kind of gets thrown out the window in the chapter. I mean, maybe if he goes to the actual source where the spell is located at, or basically conjured at, maybe he could do something about it with his anti-magic. But when it comes to just slashing the people head on, it doesn't really do anything except for actually hurt them, as it does the Real in this chapter. So then the Expendables show up because, well, we need characters who will be okay to kill by the end of this fight. Although when the three of them show up, they do kind of mention that they have this like new desire, this like overwhelming urge to kill any human they come across, and they can't really fight against it. Which has me kind of thinking that maybe when Patry used the reincarnation spell, he kind of threw in his hatred and like disdain for humans into the spell, so that it's like something that they kind of like mind controlling or kind of like manipulation kind of went to reincarnation, that basically he reincarnated the elves to have this desire to kill all humans. So, I don't know, this might just be his revenge plot going into full circle, and we don't really exactly know how the reincarnation spell works. We'll have to wait to see when we come across the actual Lich, because it seemed like he was reincarnated into his actual body, not a human body. So, we'll have to see if the spell actually affected him the same way it does the other ones. And if he doesn't have the desire to kill humans, then I guess we can come to the conclusion that, yeah, Patry kind of just threw that in there to, jumpstart his revenge plot. But yeah, now it's 5v3, and basically they're outnumbered at this point. They're getting pushed back, and it gets to the point where basically Sora says, "All right, we can't win this. We got to get the fuck out of here." Asta obviously doesn't want to run. He's like, "Hey, we can't just leave our people behind. We have to save our comrades." And then Mereoleona'S like, "Hey, shut the fuck up." She actually takes the two of them, throws them out of the castle, and just as they get thrown out, the entryway where they were thrown out gets blocked up by rubble. so they can't get back in, even though if they wanted to, either one of them is strong enough to clear the rebel out of the way so they could go back to the fight. But yeah, she got rid of them, and Liar basically comments that, getting rid of them wasn't that smart of an idea because you're basically outnumbered now and we are going to kill you. And, it's kind of, stupid to try to save your friend over saving yourself. And, he's kind of, he's not right that it was stupid, but he's kind of right that Mereoleona was, in fact, trying to save Asta and Sora from being killed by these guys. Because, honestly, they would have been killed. But Mereoleona also kind of mentions that she wasn't really trying to save them. She was actually just getting them out of her way. Which I actually do believe, because basically she realizes at this point this is a do or die situation. She has to be willing to kill these people even though they're her former comrades. And Asta would have fought against that. So, getting him out of the way would give her a situation where she could actually put up an actual fight against these people. And we saw in the last chapter that Lyra basically said that Mereoleona is strong enough that if one attack actually lands on him, it's over, he's going to die. So, if it's that case, then she possibly could kill at least one of these people. I think basically any one of the three fodder characters will die. I don't think Liar or Real is going to die in the next chapter. And basically by the end of this fight, it's unfortunate to say because I actually do really dig the character. But Mereoleona's going to have to die. She's most likely going to end up dying by the end of this arc. Which is sad because we really need her for this upcoming war against the elves. Because basically she's possibly the strongest Magic Knight we have at this point. Not only that, we know that all the other characters need a power up. They need to train, and she's basically the best trainer that they have. So yeah, the fact that she's going to die kind of leaves us at a disadvantage against the elves. But if she does end up dying, I guess that would be adding to the character development of Leo, because basically that would be two siblings that he lost to these people. But that's pretty much it for the video, because that's basically all that happened in the chapter. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel to help it grow, and thanks for watching. Comment down below your thoughts and theories, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.